Hey everybody, I'm Tara Reagan and I'm a coach and educator from Autism Grown Up, a website resource for autism teachers and autism families to learn more about how they can better serve their students with autism and meet the needs of their children with autism, especially as they are approaching adulthood and about to leave high school services. So I'm so excited you're here. Click below to subscribe. And today we're going to be talking about ways that we can better support our autism parents. So I'm talking to you, autism parents. So today I'm going to be talking about a 4-step process of walking you through figuring out what kind of support you need as an autism parent and caregiver. And I know, let's take a step back and kind of give some reasons why this is so important. If you don't already know, or just haven't had the chance to think about it, which I totally get. You are super busy as an autism parent, but I do want to stress the importance of finding time for yourself through self-care routines. Take time to treat yourself, Also, it's just so important to have other people around you to support you or your child so you're not there 100% of the time. Something that's a huge theme for Autism Grown Up is finding ways to develop our children's independence, especially as they're getting older, because they're becoming adults, and over time they shouldn't have to need us all of the time. So this is a process to get us thinking about ways that you can get support in your everyday life with your child with autism. So it's a 4-step process. First, we're going to walk through how you can assess what are the things that are the most stressful for you, and then we're going to identify those top stressors, and then we're going to plan ways that support can be best used for you, and then finally we're going to implement and monitor what the steps of that support look like. How did it go? What are things to change? All right, let's jump right in then. So first, for assess, I want you to start with a self-assessment. Take a few minutes, either at the start or the end of your day. Find a moment to gather yourself, whether that is the quietest corner of your house, if you can find it. I know it can be pretty difficult at times, but do make sure to find that for yourself. Because from there, that's where you're going to really self-reflect and walk through these steps with me. So if you need to pause and hold this until you get that moment, I'm totally fine. I'll wait. All right, so you found that quiet spot. I also want you to get a pencil and paper, or pen and paper, some writing utensil of sorts. I want you to gather yourself. Take some deep breaths, in and out, however many times you need. Rinse and repeat, because now you're going to ask yourself a few questions once you are in that state of feeling very connected with yourself. I'm just going to ask you a simple question. How are you feeling? Just write all of what you're feeling down, what you are feeling right now, down on paper. What have been maybe think about 3 specific feelings you have been feeling lately over the past 2 weeks or so. And if you're feeling all the feels, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and write them down and then be selecting some from there. And from there, what's contributing to those feelings? Why are you feeling so emotional, so isolated, so lonely? Or maybe feeling curious, so happy, so joyful, so calm. You can describe the feelings however you need to. This is for you. You can just write this down in paragraph form, stream of consciousness it, or you can do a bulleted list. Sometimes I like to do that because I'm just quickly jotting down. All right, that is the assess step. Next, we're going to move on to identify. So within this same moment, or if you do need to find another moment, like your child is actually awake right now and you gotta go check in on them, that is totally fine. But I do want you to find another moment for identify the activity that I have within there. So I'll wait if you need to pause. All right, we're back. All right, so hold on to that same piece of paper because you're also going to add to it. you need to get some more, that's totally fine. So in relation to those feelings that you listed last time in Assess, I want you to go through and maybe draw some arrows or create a box, select like that feeling, and then you're gonna write down all of the things that contribute to that feeling. I guess I should do the feeling and then all the things that contribute to it. That can be a bulleted list as well, just a list of activities, reasons why, just do a quick jot. So now that you've written everything down, I want you to look at those activities and circle the ones that really brought that stress for you. Especially if you have a stressful category and you wrote down some things in there that were pretty stressful for you, just circle 1 to 2 things that were really stressful. And that's where we're going to be going with for moving on to our next step, which is plan. So based on those items that you circled as the most stressful, I want you to write those down in a new section of the paper. And I want you to, we're going to go through a couple more questions to help you figure out what are some things to make them less stressful. Off of those 1 to 2 things that you circled, go through a process of figuring out what are ways to make them less stressful. So broadly, the question is, how can these stressful activities be less stressful? I'm going to give you some guiding questions. What are some ways that can make it less stressful now, today? Who can help you with that? What technology and tools are available to you that you can use fairly easily, or just have to learn a little bit about to get it going? And then looking down the road, what are some ways or systems that you can put in place to make this particular activity or event or task less stressful, say a month from now, or 6 months from now, or even a year from now, so you're not even thinking about this activity being fairly stressful. It's just like a thing of the past. It's like, oh, it's not so bad anymore. I don't have to think about meal prep anymore for my child. So that's an example I would give throughout this process. Your child is a picky eater and also needs to be gluten-free, so that kind of feels like your options for food and meals are really limited, but perhaps there are some ways that you can think about supporting that in terms of finding ways to decrease your stress in finding meals for your child. Some plans or meals are gonna work every single time with your child and are still healthy. So from there, you've listed out some things that can help you today, in the future, later down on the road, and got some ideas going about what are some ways to make that particular activity less stressful. So go ahead and just choose one of those activities, like the one that's like the most stressful for you right now. Decide from there, based on what you just brainstormed and supports for you, select a few of those ideas and put them in place. Say for my healthy eating example, for a gluten-free diet, I decided to go ahead and look up some meal plan services online where they will send me like a menu plan, create meals for the week, and then I can go look over that menu with my son and see which ones he's really excited about, and then go ahead and make them, which leads us into our next step: implement and monitor. You've made a plan. Do those things. See if they work for you. I encourage you to do it for an extended period of time so you can actually see if it is working for you or not. I know consistency can be fairly difficult. Staying consistent, you can actually see what is working, what is not working, and can modify from there. I also want you to get excited about any size milestone, each little increment it takes there. Like for my meal plan example, say my child only really liked one of the meals that week. That's great because he was not loving any of the meals before then. So he actually tried something new. That's huge. That's a win. I'm so excited to hear what you end up doing. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to get more of these videos very soon. I'm very excited to get more things out there for autism families and teachers. And so I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.